Hey guys, this is Landros, and I'm actually just doing a real quick update video. I hope it's quick. I'm not really quite sure. Anyway, for those of you who've been watching the channel here for the last week or so, you've probably not noticed too much as far as LPs. Everything's been coming out just pretty much normal on schedule. But behind the scenes, it has been a completely different story. I have not been able to record anything for, let's see, we're going on about a week right now. Had a lot of major issues. I have lost everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Well, not quite. Anyway, this is all kind of good news, bad news, all blended in together. The good news is I have managed to save everything. Bad news is it's not going to be exactly the same. It's going to be very close, but it's going to be kind of a few little quirks here and there that we're going to have to kind of work out. Anyway, what I found out, what was going wrong with the game, when you guys, if you watched, I believe it was actually happening on my last, well, you guys may not have seen that yet because it's not coming out till tomorrow. The last video I recorded was Island Paradise episode 25. I did record an Asylum 2. It was actually the finale, and it's gone. I'm not going to lie to you. It's gone, not because there was a mistake, but because I was not a really good person in that video. There were so many frustrations, and when I went back to watch it, I was embarrassed by what I was saying and by the things I was doing. So I was like, I got to get rid of it. So unfortunately, I don't know how I'm going to go back and replay that because a lot of things happened, and I don't know what I can do. I'm going to try to work on that one, but that's going to be a long time from now, so it's not my priority. Anyway, I tried also doing another World Adventures LP, and it was painful. It really was. I cut it off about, I'd say 15 minutes into it, and I finally just gave up. That's when all the problems really just escalated. Anyway, what was happening was the Sims would walk for a couple of seconds, and then they would stop, and then they would walk a few more seconds, and then they would stop, and I had one Sim, I was trying to send him from his house to the pool. He stood in front of his yard for 2.5 hours until a taxi generated. Now that's 2.5 hours, Sim hours. But he just sat there and nothing else was wrong. Everything else was fine. The clock on the game did not work. It was just aggravating. And I kept thinking, well, what is going on? And what would happen is I would take my games, I would take all my save files out, I would regenerate the game, start up a brand new game. Everything was fine. Everything worked perfectly. I put the new patch in. Everything was fine. I rolled it back to the old patch. Things were great. I reinstalled the whole thing. But as soon as I bring my saves in, it didn't matter which one. If I brought any of them in, it broke my game. And I thought, well, this is really weird. And I kept trying to kind of dig in and see what I could do. And I didn't want to bring those save files into my laptop because my laptop did not have all the expansion packs. It can only run so many, and then it just kind of loses it. Anyway, I kept thinking I need to go just test it just to make sure it's the save files. But I just kept digging through my computer thinking, well, maybe it's my computer. And I tore my thing apart. This whole system has been just from... you have no idea. I've actually reinstalled the operating system. I've done everything. So when I say I have done all the little tricks, like you guys kept recommending, reset sim for the whole thing, and every little trick I could think of. I even got on the phone. I called EA. That was not very helpful. But it turns out, and I ran it through Custard, and I ran it through the dashboard, Delphi's dashboard, and all that. I mean, I realized it's something to do with my save files. I finally decided to test with my laptop, and I was holding off because, like I said, I didn't have everything on there, and I really like having my laptop there because I didn't want to break the game and then have to go through all this with that. Well, I finally upgraded my laptop enough where I could bring in my files, brought them in, it broke the laptop. And it was just the save files, it was nothing else. So now what I've done is I brought all my all my save files in one more time, and I let it break the game. I opened it up, and yeah, it was painful, but I opened up all 24 LPs. Now, when I say 24, I mean all my current ones, along with everything that I've done since my channel started. And I took out every family with their house, and I took out every family without their house. Now, some of you guys may have seen some of these files going up on the exchange about yesterday or the day before. I hope you did not download those because there's nothing wrong with them. The only problem is they're not full. I was actually using my laptop for some of it, and then I realized I didn't have all the downloadable content, and so it was replacing items, and so it really wasn't working out very well. But what I ended up having to do, and you can notice it right down here in my game files right here, you can see all these people here. These are all the people that I've actually been working with, and there's quite a few. But I've got them with houses and without houses, so I have a different version of them. But I brought them out, and I could not just pop them into the game and have a new file start, because they would still be broken. Once you brought those save files in, it didn't matter. What I finally ended up having to do is I let the game break. I brought all of them in one after another, loaded them in like this, got them to this point, shut the game down. I took all these guys, this all actually resides in the library file of your Sims 3 document folder. So I took that file, pulled it out, stuck it on the desktop, deleted the Sims file game, the Sims game, the entire game, whatever you call it, the entire game engine itself, or whatever. I let it regenerate, made a new factory reset of that game, then brought these guys back in, tested it with a few of them. I would start with one of these guys, I would put them in there, put them in with their house, put them in without their house, played for a while, it played beautifully. So I thought, okay, well, worst case, at least I've saved my house, my families, I've saved their houses, and one way or the other, I can either pop them back into their original towns. It's going to be resetting the town. It's going to be a brand new save file. That's not that big of a deal. There is going to be a few glitches here and there that things are going to actually be kind of odd. Some people are going to exist twice in towns, which some of them already did, but it's not that big of a deal, I don't think. But I'm going to start with it. So the episodes you're going to see coming out, and I'm going to try to sit down and do a few. Tonight's Friday night, and I don't know if I'm going to get anything else out by Saturday. I know I've got the Island Paradise 25 coming. It's actually sitting there ready. I just have to go back and do a couple of things for it, and then it should be going up tomorrow morning. But yeah, I'm going to go through and I'm going to try to go ahead and get something started. I don't know if they'll get out there right away, but I'm hoping to be back on schedule for Sunday. So, like I said, when you see it, they're all going to be coming back pretty much the same. There's going to be some changes here and there, but it's not going to be anything major, nothing massive. So it's not like I had to lose anything as far as people or whatnot. Another thing, I was actually at the point before I actually kind of got this to work, I was going to either replay my games up until the point where we had gotten to, which was a bad idea because I can't do all the things that we had done. They would have major differences. Or I was going to recreate the families as best I could. I was going to try to go to Create a Sim, make them, stick them into their towns. They'd have no skills. They wouldn't have anything working towards their lifetime wish. The only problem is a lot of my characters you cannot create through Create a Sim. I've got a plant sim. I've got mermaids. I mean, there's a lot of different things. Now, certain LPs are going to be impacted more than others, and I think the one that gets impacted probably the most is going to be Island Paradise. And the reason I say that is that in Island Paradise, they're no longer going to have their resort. They're no longer going to have the islands that they've discovered. And now there's going to be two versions of these mermaids running around town. So it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. I can deal with it. But, it just aggravates me because I feel like I've had to restart it so many times. Anyway, everything else is the same. The ones who are pregnant, they'll still be pregnant. The ones who have, whatever they've had as far as their experiences and their skills and abilities, it should all be the same. So I'm not too upset about any of that. I just feel like it was a better solution. And it's the only one that was working. So that's where I'm at. So right now I'm actually in the process of going through, and I'm going to be starting and just creating save files for each of my LPs. None of the towns are going to have anything in them. I'm not downloading anything to put in them. I'm not saying that the downloads were any problem. I don't know what the actual root of it was, but I did narrow it down to the fact that it was the save files themselves. And it could be just one thing that got corrupted, one thing that just kind of bled into all the other ones. Who knows? Because I kept pulling all of them in at one point. So it's probably best to just do this. We'll start fresh, and I'm hoping that whatever bad files were not actually attached to the people. I'm hoping that they weren't, but if they were, I will find out. So anyway, that's where we're at. I'm going to start working on it tonight. If I see anything that is absolutely wrong, if I realize that, okay, this didn't fix it, I will either post something on the comment channel or comment section of my, actually on the discussion section of my channel, or I'll post up another video just to kind of give you an idea. But I know some of you have been asking about an update and have been very nice and very supportive to go out there and to say all kinds of nice kind words about it. But anyway, I didn't want you to think that things were stopping or things were ending, because for a while there it did look like it, but it's not. It's just, let me get this going, let me see what I can work on, and then I'll just see kind of how it turns out. But keep your fingers crossed. I'm hoping this will work out. I'm hoping that this will be all it needs, and then we'll be back up and running. I'm really excited about the new world that they just released, Midnight Hollow. If you haven't seen it, go take a look at it. The preview looks fantastic. I can't wait to actually get in there. I kind of have an idea already what I'm going to do for an LP on that one. So, because I'm going to do one. It's just part of it. And then, of course, Into the Future coming up in just a little over a month as well. So we got a lot of stuff coming. Got a lot of things on my channel. Got a lot of LPs to just kind of keep going. And you guys know me. I like to have a lot of things on there so that there's a variety. If you're not watching one, you can watch another. I mean, who knows? You may like a few of them, you may hate them all. I have no idea. If you hate them all, I don't know why you're watching. Anyway, that's about it. I just wanted to kind of give you guys an update, let you know that things are better than they were, and I'm really looking forward to the possibility that things will actually work out. Let's see, did I get the festival lots? I certainly hope I did. It doesn't look like I did, so I got to go out of here and get festival lots, I think. Oh, great. Just more stuff to go download. I thought I already had them. Oh, there's one of them. Okay, so I thought I got them. I didn't. All right, anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, get out of here and get started. I'm going to try to work on it. I have been sick as a dog. I've been doing this. This has been the worst week in the world to get this done. Haven't had much time, but I feel like I'm optimistic, and I'm going to stay that way. So look for something to come out, or look for another update to tell you that this is all a disaster. But anyway, I'm hoping that everything is going to be just fine. So, guys, hope you enjoy the next episode of Island Paradise. But remember, after that episode tomorrow, everything else is going to kind of be a fresh version, and little changes are going to be just kind of the norm. So just go with it. I did have the possibility I could move my families back to their original towns, such as I could put Perfect Genetics back in Riverview, and I could put Hybrid Baby back on Lunar Lakes. I thought about it. They did fix Lunar Lakes, and it now works. So if you guys want that, let me know, because I think Hybrid Baby, I'm going to sit down to record that. It'll be like number 4 of what I'm going to record. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know quickly, because I'm going to plan to hopefully get to that tonight so I can start getting into the process. It takes a long time to get these things worked through the entire upload process. But Perfect Genetics, I think I might leave it where it is, because I am going to move one of my LPs to Riverview. Just because I have to. There's a character that really, it would not make sense to have them both in the same town. I mean, it would be okay, like I said, but I feel like it'd be better just to move them. And so I am going to do that. But if you guys really want me to move any of my families, I think the next one I'm getting ready to start working on is, of course, World Adventures, which is in Sunlit Tide, so I'm not going to change that. Aurora Skies is not going to change because it's the title of the LP. And then Midnight Sun, I could actually put that back on the Isle of the Midnight Sun. I have no problem with that. I could even put in the Register mod. It would be the only mod that I would put into my game. I'm not going to run it with anything else, because that one never caused me any issues whatsoever. So I could do that. If you guys want to put the Shepherd family back on the island, I'm more than happy to do it. Or if you want them to stay in Sunlit Tides, let me know. But put that down as quickly as you can as soon as you see this video. So let me wrap this up so I can get this thing posted, because it's going to take a while. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this, and keep your fingers crossed. Keep sending me the good support and the good vibes. I appreciate it, and I will get started on it, so I'll have something to get out there for you guys to watch. Thanks again. I'll talk to you next time.